Shocking as it may sound, statistics reveal that 80% of divorce cases in Uganda are initiated by women. And about 5 to 7% of first marriages in Uganda will end in divorce. Further statistics reveal to us that divorce is on the rise, especially here in this country, and also separation. But for the context of today's conversation, we are mainly going to be looking at divorce on the rise. Are Christian marriages safe? With these rising statistics of people filing for divorce, of people separating, is there still safety in Christian marriages? Are biblical principles still abounding in marriages? And is it still a safeguard to protect people from getting divorced? Or have people put that on the side and it no longer matters? Do these shocking statistics cut across Christians as well? Or perhaps it's outside in people who don't identify as Christians. But anyway, about 85% of the people in this country identify as Christians. So perhaps we might say, if it's about 80 cases being reported, 80% of the cases being reported being by females, divorce cases, we could say still it reflects highly among Christians because majority of the people in this country are actually Christians. And we could say those statistics reflect even among people who are believers of Christianity. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Divorce on the rise. Are Christian marriages safe? To help us unpack this conversation, I am having a panel of two gentlemen and a lady. On the extreme right, I have my good brother and friend, Mr. Onesimus Akankwatsa. He's a lawyer. And then next to him, I have my good brother and friend, Mr. Otim Macbeth. He's also a lawyer. And then the only married person on this panel is Mrs. Muchala Mayanja. You are welcome back to the show. Yes, she's the one who's going to be giving us the married perspective on this conversation. And then hosting this conversation, my name is Edison Masereka. What do you guys think of this topic, and especially the rising statistics of divorce in this country?
Marriage is a holy thing, and it's one of the few things in the Bible taken to be holy. You say God is holy, the Sabbath is holy, we have Holy Communion, and now marriage, it's holy. And the very few institutions where we find the word holy. So marriage is a holy institution, and it was never God's plan and design for us to part ways. It was I'm making you companion, and it's forever.
Till death does you part.
Till death does you part. But I think from the last century or this century, things have gone the other way around. Growing up in the Adventist church in those early 2000s, don't ask how old I am, but in those early 2000s, divorce rates weren't even anywhere in church. Me, I didn't even know that there is divorce in church. All I knew is this Luganda word called Namwandu. That's the only thing I knew, that a woman has lost the husband. And that's when she
can go on to proceed and remarry.
But growing up, I never had anything like divorce. And so, in this generation, divorce is a normal thing.
But also, Counsel Macbeth, I want to first shed the light on, we had this discussion before we got on air, the difference between divorce and separation. Is there a dividing line in the law especially?
Yes, divorce is where you completely dissolve the marriage. Then separation is where you are two married people maybe having disagreements. You could separate and say, if you have two houses, you go to the other house, you will be in this house. But then the marriage is still intact. Legally, it's still binding.
What if, like, for 10 years, we've not been staying even together, but we were married?
But you agreed to separate.
Yes, we went, everyone is now on their own path. No. But we never perhaps went and dissolved the marriage. Separation
has confines. Of course, you will separate, but you're not allowed to remarry or marry. Because you're still married to this person. So you cannot be allowed to marry in separation. But divorce is where, so you know what, guys, we have failed to agree. You dissolve the marriage. Everyone, you take back the marriage certificate. So both parties are allowed to remarry. But under separation, you're not allowed to.
What if this party under separation, this party has gone ahead to stay with another person? though they have not really like gone to church or court and that.
Then you're being
but they have
adulterous.
gone ahead to.
Then you're being adulterous. Yes, and the only solution is formally file for a divorce. Yes. Because if you're still if you're separate, you're still married to the other person legally.
I also think that as a country we have a problem with research and profiling our statistics. In the US, for example, I think the statistics for first-time marriages are about 60, if not 55 to 60. First-time marriages will end in divorce. Then second marriages, about I think 65 to 70% will end in divorce. Those ones do a lot of research and statistics on literally everything. But for us here, we don't document so many things. Still, before we got on air, you talked about something like the magistrates' courts and then the high court, that some of those may not be among our captured statistics. What's the difference there?
Magistrate courts are not courts of record. So high court cases, high court is a court of records. So most of their cases will be documented and for future reference. But you cannot cite a precedent set by a magistrate's court. So that's why in most cases...
Which levels? At what level?
Right now we have the G grade 1 magistrates and the chief magistrates. So in most cases you'll find that most of the matters handled there are not so much referred to, but the high court cases are the ones that we consider most because for them they are courts of record and they can set precedents.
Okay, I get it. Muchala Mayanja, do you think that Christian marriages have really different struggles from other marriages that are non-Christian?
Yes. They have also their struggles. Though the other phrase you phrased that divorce is at an increasing rate, Christian marriage is safe. Yes, they are safe and strong, but this is according to the couple, the couples. If they are serious and committed and they live on biblical principles, you're still strong. But that doesn't mean or stop you from the struggles. Because of course, in marriages, of course, even Christians face poor communication. If you cannot communicate, things compile.
It doesn't matter whether you talk to God every day, and if you're not talking to your spouse, there's no communication.
Because the anger, the bitterness, they come compiling. So someone just from the blue will just burst. And you know, when you're not communicating, like for example, you've done me something. Sometimes we do things and we think they're light, yet they're affecting the other person. So sometimes if you're not communicating, if you're not apologizing, if you're not able to say sorry to that person, so these things come and compile together, and someone will be like, "Let me leave this out." And because of even the society pressure, now sometimes we marry, not knowing why we are marrying, just we live out of formalities. That the society is telling me I've grown up. Yes. Nkuze. So they always, there is that time when at the moment people see you. Edson, when are you marrying? Where is your wife? When are you marrying? When are you getting married? So that pressure. And they're like, God, if you give me like that person, I can just grab and take home. We go to church, we do the vows. You've married for that. So even you don't know why you've gotten married. So those struggles will come. You want or not. But remember, marriage is a Christ foundation. It is biblical. So if you put it in your mind that now, even before committing to this person, you first commit to God. That commitment. So you make those vows, even when you feel like it is no more. Remember, the commitment you made to God
was to God.
Yes, and you pray that you give me this partner. God, please intervene. Yes, it's an agreement.
Gentlemen, do you think that having a Christian background prepares us for strong marriages?
You stand a better chance having gone through a Christian background. Because I personally, having grown up in a Christian setting, I've heard those famous verses like Proverbs 5 verses. I'm forgetting the verse which says, "Rejoice with the woman of your youthful days," and others. Simply because I've grown up in that background of church, I stand a strong side getting a divorce. And actually, I don't see myself divorcing, whatever case it might be. Because I've seen stories in the Bible where men had not good ladies, but they endured with their ladies. And the endings are always good. So whatever I'll end up with, I'll just learn staying with that person. So I strongly believe growing up with a Christian background helps you stand a better chance of getting a divorce.
Actually, me, the moments I enjoyed so much, I admired. We used to sit in, you know how elders and pastors and those married couples be like, "My wife, can you wave to the congregation?" I and my wife and children have, like, you know that feeling, and be like, Mkama, one day also, let me be in the congregation. And my husband says, "Can you wave to the congregation, my sweetheart?"
So now, whenever he speaks that, how do you feel?
No, like, I was like, if it is real, it is a good way, like, to go. If it is real, because it is a good feeling.
I personally believe that, you see, church is a unit of society. So as Christians and SDS, I believe growing up in church prepares us for better marriages.
True.
Why?
True.
The first time I heard of divorce was in school. But growing up at church, I really never saw examples of divorce.
Same like me.
Church protected us from the negative side of marriage. Because marriage is a covenant you make with God. Because you will be at the altar, and you know, and the fact that it's a church marriage, it's a Christian marriage. Imagine a civil marriage now outside there. A civil marriage, you're making your vows before a register of marriages at URSP, before a chief administrative officer at the district level. I don't believe it will hold the same substance as the covenant you're making before God.
When there's a divine power in between the two.
Yes, and as Christians, we have society to be accountable to. We have the church. We have grown up in the church. You'll be accountable to the church. And we have departments in church now, like the family life. We have departments in church which are doing their role to ensure that really the Christians don't end up like people in the world. For example, at our church on Valentine's Day, the marrieds did their thing under the family life, and it was inspiring for us who are not yet married, who are not yet into the institution. And yeah, I believe the church is preparing the Christians better.
So I was looking at I want us to delve into the factors that lead mostly to divorce. I was looking at some of the leading ones, and the main reason that was on top, the causes for divorce, was financial instability, financial disagreements mainly. It was followed by infidelity, was followed by incompatibility. Then other factors like lack of intimacy came in, and then women's rights and emancipation came in, and then long-distance marriages came in, and then desertion, where women feel like the men have abandoned responsibility and have left them, and so they can't stay there anymore. But if you look at these, really, these are things we live with. Financial instability. These are things we live with. What do you say about some of these factors? And maybe are there some that I've left out of some of the leading causes of divorce, and why you think maybe from the examples that we have had out there? Because these are people we live with, right? We are not discussing something abstract. These are people that we live with. What are some of those leading factors we've been hearing about as the reasons to why people would consider divorce as an option?
In fact, the finance part of it is key. It is key. Because we've seen most of the times when it comes to misunderstandings in marriage, it is finance. You know, you come together, you're from, maybe I've been working before we gotten married, you've been also earning. So you come with that high expectation. Maybe the way you are earning before marrying, that money was enough for you. So, and also me, I was earning my money, which was enough
For you.
now we've come together. So some couples fail to understand now we are one. If you're getting 50 and I'm getting 20, it is 70, not 50. You know?
Are you practicing that in your marriage?
It is 70, not 50. No, not 50. Because my husband is getting 50 and I'm getting 20, so it is 50. It is not 70. So you find that the weight on the other side is heavy. Remember that 50 has been taken care of one person. Now you've become two. So the way you have to manage the finances now is the problem. You have to take care of me, you have to pay the house, you have to do this, you have to give me money for hair, you have to provide food, we have to take children to school. It is always on the other side. So you find our chika's money is always in our pocket. Maybe we always just to meet our own needs, sending to my parents what and others. But remember, this person is over. Yes. So this person will reach a time and be like, am I a father to this person? You know? Yes. Fathers, you're the lead. You have to take care of everything. Yes, your home. But ladies, let us just learn to be fair.
Thank you. Take your time.
Let us just learn to be fair. That, okay, if we're having that hour 70, okay, let me present the 15. We have 65, I remain with Micah 5K. You know? But even the electricity is off, you're waiting for the husband to come back. You know, you've come back late, but power went off. You know?
You can offset it without...
Just put 10K, maybe. The child is sick, you're waiting for the husband to take the child to the hospital. Because you don't even have money for transport, you know? So sometimes they get overstretched and be like, no, I wish I knew things, you know, were like this. Sometimes they are not overstretched. It is okay. It is okay. Have your come and I have what? My come and he will take all the responsibilities. Then even that responsibility, like the only responsibilities you're having, maybe taking care of the home, the children, we fail. You know? Someone has come up with some projects. Can you handle this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And we also fail them. So finance, it is something else.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Speaking of finance, I don't know if any of you here, my brothers, you've gone out for a date and you eat, and lo and behold, you touch your pocket and the budget is way beyond what you expected. Perhaps you go out and the girl is asking for a milkshake. She's like, I even no longer have the appetite. She's asking for this juice, this, it, and the rest. Now, because of the budget being overwhelming, may even feel low and the rest. Men feel happy when they have money in their pocket. There is nothing that will ever give a man a peace of mind than him having money and knowing that I can sustain my family. You see, we wake up in families and everything requires money. You wake up, you're still on bed. Up there is a bulb. It requires money. You go to shower, water. You move out. There is a maid. A maid, you have to pay the maid. You after eating everything you've eaten, garbage people are coming to take the garbage. That is money. You're having the scary. That is money. You've not even stepped out in your car for fuel expenses. the money alone you're spending in your household is a lot. Now you have a wife. She has a lot of needs. And you're explaining to her that, you see, baby, we have this expenditure, we have this and this. She should ask, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't have money? Men out there do these things for their women. You must be having money. You're a man. And so, over and every time, men go through that kind of depression because of the overwhelming budget.
Yes, and I want us to expound on that, gentlemen. The place of money in a marriage. We aspire to get there, right? And perhaps we have heard from other people. What's the place of the woman's money? If we can talk about that. But also the other thing I wanted to find out, gentlemen, would you marry someone who earns more than you?
Why not? I would.
On what grounds?
Thank you.
Earning,
Thank you.
Earning. Okay, what if you start a marriage and you're earning more than her? Then 5 years within the marriage, she gets a contract and she's earning more than you. Would you leave
we
the
start
marriage?
right now. I know I am earning 1 million shillings and she's earning 2 million shillings. Before we marry, would
Edison.
you go ahead and date her and get married?
Edison,
I would.
Do you know why beautiful girls who are well educated and have money are single? Most of them.
No, Edison.
Avoid people with a lot of money if possible.
No.
At some point.
I
Let's pass this
disagree.
as Macbeth.
I disagree.
That is my point.
Because Edison, if I was earning, say 2 million, I will take you to places where I can afford, not
Yes.
looking at your money.
Yes.
So I can date a person who earns more than me. I have no problem with it because I'm not looking at your money. I'm looking at you.
However, I've seen one woman, and I think I've spoken this before. This woman was earning a lot of money than the husband. This woman was driving a T. By the time he met a husband, he was driving a Primo. But the submissive levels of this woman is something I've not seen in a century. Though she was submissive, she's a doctor with a PhD. A man is a bachelor's level. But the way a woman is too submissive with all the money,
Women fall for leadership. Maybe the man is a good leader.
Either that's true.
you're right. So on one hand, if you find a right one, you're good to go. On the other hand, if you don't,
You brought up something, the right one. Is there, and that's been a reason some marriages have ended, because someone gets there and thinks, oh, she was never the right one, and I should get out of this and look for the right one. What do we say about that before we go for the break?
For me, I think the reasons as to why both of you are getting married to each other should be solid. There's a book I read. Lately, I'm reading a lot of marriage literature.
There'll be signs.
And there's a book I read it's titled Saving My Marriage before it actually begins, before it starts. So the reasons,
Meanwhile, I'll need the PDF after that, sure.
so the reasons as to why you're getting married should be solid enough, because they're partly going to play a role as to why both of you are going to remain in this marriage and not any one of you seeking for divorce.
But I think even some men date out of excitement. You've seen this brown lady with nyash.
why not black?
Brown is the trending
Brown
color.
tie.
Black is
So
better.
you've seen this brown lady with nyash, and you're like, oh my God, if I don't go with this one. So that excitement. So you date for 1-2 months, and you're like, church, I've seen a wife. You
I
know?
may not say it's excitement.
It is excitement.
Men naturally we look naturally.
You know, if it is not excitement, that's why you'll say, ekyo ekisajja oyo omusajja oba ekyo ekikazi yakyagalako ki?" Okitegeera? Because the values he wanted in a woman, it was past the physical looks, you know. So that excitement, like, you know, when we'll be moving or we're on a date, everyone will be like, hey, Panak, the lady, Alese, you know. So you end up with someone you don't know, but just because he's brown and has
You end up with a very beautiful problem.
Yes,
Gentlemen, as we go for the break, would you marry someone if you realize she considers divorce as an option?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Okay, We go for a break and we come back shortly. Welcome back from that quick break. This is the Youth Voice Show here on Hope Channel, Uganda. Tonight we are discussing divorce on the rise. Are Christian marriages safe? And we're looking at the modern trends in the highly increasing rates of divorce in this country, in Africa, and the world at large. And we're looking at the state of Christian marriages amidst these rising divorce rates. And we've seen that it's entering church. And so many of church marriages are actually collapsing. And looking at what takes people here. Before we went for the break, I had asked a gentleman if they would consider marrying someone who considers divorce as a way out under some circumstances. Off air, someone had asked the grounds for divorce biblically, the ones that church can allow. Yes, you want to share about them, Onesimus?
Well, off air we were speaking about that. You're right, and I brought in the aspect of marriage when they're wedding in church. What the pastor normally says, he says, because of the powers given unto me as an ordained minister in the Seventh Adventist Church, and because of the laws that govern the government of Uganda, I now officially declare so and so as Mr.
Husband and wife.
Thank you. So that aspect they add on. Because of the laws that govern the government of Uganda. We're discussing here and we're like, marriage is given by the government.
Yeah, by the state, yes.
And the grounds that govern divorce in the Divorce Act in Uganda will apply this side. Although our canonic laws as the church also have a stand.
And I think for Christian marriages, the church principles then outweigh. Because I think somehow you realize it's easy to dissolve a marriage. Like I think Macbeth had mentioned it. It's easy for a couple to think they can dissolve a marriage because it was just before a court, and you know. But when you know there's someone in between and this is God, perhaps then somehow it's solidified. Christian marriages can be somehow safer. Because I think even biblically, especially now the SDA church, there are majorly two grounds for divorce. Number one, extreme violence that threatens a person's existence, and there is proof for it.
So just one slap is not...
There's no one slap, no. One slap, no.
Because sometimes,
for example, I know of a couple, very many years ago when I was growing up, we had this couple in church, and the man was in church, and he used to beat his wife. He used to beat his wife terribly. And the woman said enough. And of course, people in the church, everyone knew about it, how she was suffering in the marriage. And then the second ground is infidelity. Infidelity, but of course there I will say, whoever is innocent, cast the first stone. But now, with both of those grounds, with the church, reconciliation is encouraged.
True.
And if everything has failed, efforts to bring both parties together have failed, then the church will in fact the word is used in the manual, reluctantly agree that the couple should separate, but it's the last option. Yeah, but I wanted us to jump a little back to the issue of finances. Gentlemen and lady, what do you think is the place of a woman's money in marriage? On this background, I have a friend of mine, he's married, I think for around 4 years now, but he believes he has let the woman's money keep her money. Like, her money, she can use it to do whatever she wants, maybe her hair and that, and I don't take care of those. But somehow I think, if her money is doing for her the very things she was doing for herself before she got married, why did she get married? I mean, if as a man I should put a rope on my neck because I don't have the money, but money is rotting on my woman's account, why did we get together in the first place? Macbeth.
Let me submit. As a man, I'll speak for myself. Truth be told, I don't think there's a man out there who wants to have their woman's money. It's just because of the economy these days.
Yes.
But when things get better and you're cruising nicely, you let the woman's money be her money.
What is she going
and
to
be
do
the
with her
provider
money?
as a man. And secondly, these are things that in that book that I quoted earlier, these are things that you always have to agree on before you actually join the marriage.
Yes.
Ask the woman, what do you think? Because I've had a boss of mine where I used to work, and he was taking me through this whole, elder brother, young brother talk, and he was telling me that for him in his marriage, they get the money, the woman gets the salary, both of them declare, and the money is handed over to the man. And the man plans for the money. So these are things that I believe when you're in that courtship stage, you always have to agree on. Because when you get married and you didn't agree on these things,
They backfire, they get back to you.
Yes, they'll get back to you as a couple. So I believe you should always agree on certain things.
Did you have those money conversations?
I think those are the basic things we should consider when you are dating. Because when you're dating, those things of saying you're beautiful, you're this and this, they're outdated. Yes, they're outdated. Because the fact that you've come to me, I'm beautiful.
You know it.
I know it.
So now, what's the romantic language you want us to portray when we're dating?
No, maybe when you are just dating for formality, but for marriage. So there are those key things you should first consider before saying, Munange, you're beautiful, you have nice hair, you have... Of course, those are compliments. Those are things you will tell me. But for the long run...
We need to discuss that.
Yes. That you know what? Me, I'm earning this. How much are you earning? Where do you see your future? In case we get married, how do you want our family to look like? You know? So if you're having Yoka 500, how would you budget for it? So after knowing that, this person with her money, it is her money. So you have to check yourself, will I manage to take all the responsibilities? If you cannot manage, then also you speak that part that, you know what, how do you see if we do this, and you see the resistance, you're like, I won't die alone taking care of someone who even earns. You know, there are circumstances when you marry someone, maybe I've been working and things go wrong and I'm home. That is different. So my submission is different. So, but we all go out to hustle. So me, I think even if it is the money's responsibility to take care of me, yes. How would you feel when you come back and I tell you, you know, they sent me a note that we had a fees balance for our child, but I covered
Sorted.
it is sorted. How would you feel as a man?
Heavenly.
Yes. But it won't be like every time I'll do it. It won't happen that every time I'll do what? But once in a while, you do it. Because, you know, there are some things you do. Maybe, let me say that you got some misunderstandings and you do something small. It pushes you ahead. Every time you think about that thing, you remove that anger and say, my wife loves me, my husband, what?
Another colleague at church was saying that for him, how he solves financial issues in his marriage and to ensure that his wife is not over-demanding, he declares and he lets her be in charge. So she knows, but we are working with 1 million shillings. Why am I asking for something of 2 million shillings when I have already known what he has? And he says it has saved him so much trouble. They never have disagreements.
I also have a cousin who he's married, and the woman is the minister of finance in their marriage. He gets the money, gives it to the woman. And
I think that's a good thing because you're a team, right? Yes. And you're building together, right? And you now two have become one. But I also think that as men, it's also important to admit our points of weaknesses. For example, personally, I have money issues. And if my wife is really good, her frugality is okay. Why not let her be in charge? Why not declare? Because personally, I can easily be carried away whenever I get money.
But
and,
some men are
you know,
reluctant.
One thing I want to agree with actually, I want to agree with whatever you're submitting, but when it comes to our agenda, we're extravagant in spending
Yes.
than these women. A woman will find you with your car 1 million and build you. If you fully open up to her. One thing I came to realize is even if you let the man be with her money, you still need to provide to her money. They need to be given.
But the woman will build according to the people around her.
Around her.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, the environment also matters. That I agree. The environment
But
also
that
matters a
1
lot.
million will not be enough.
I want to shift the conversation to something else. The issue of another factor I found out is that people tend to prepare more for the wedding than the marriage. That when people get together and they are courting and they start planning a wedding, that overshadows the fact that they should prepare for the marriage. So they prepare for the event, but not for the lifetime they're going to be spending together. Now, by the time they get married, they realize they actually never knew each other. All they did was prepare for this big day and it's done, and maybe they are in dates and things like that. And then they are now on a trajectory of having it end very soon. What do we say of that?
Elton and the viewers out there, there's something of late that I've been observing. Women are prepared for marriage. They have these singer talks and the rest. But who prepares us? The boy child. Who prepares us? Who tells us of the reality we're going to find in marriage?
Talkers.
TikTok.
Influencers.
Surely, the boy child has been neglected a lot. Actually, we are learning from the field. We are learning on job when we enter marriage. That's when we are learning things from there. Whereas the woman you're going to meet and spend your forever with has been well prepared and she knows how to handle a man in and out. Now you, who is not prepared with your zero experience, you coming into this new life with your singlehood that has taken you up, and perhaps with your playful nature of how you've been playing ladies out there. There is that big difference and loophole between you, who is not educated and well-mentored and trained for marriage, because marriage is a different institution regardless of your books and the rest. And also this woman who is well prepared. And I want to visit the viewers out there. The boy child needs to be prepared for marriage.
If there's a problem with men.
A big
Let
one.
me just say something. When we grew up, okay, some years back, I'm not so old, we used to have so many women acting and trying to look like men. But today tables have turned. We have so many men trying to look like women. Look at TikTok and online and most so-called content creators. There are more men who are acting like women on social media than the men who are acting than the women who are acting like men. Some time back, manliness was associated with being strong and being in the lead and something like that. The tables have turned. Men are now weak beings, and so it speaks to what you're talking about, that who is preparing the men. Even in the churches, do you think our churches are doing enough to prepare the men?
No, they're
or
not
actually
doing
prepare young people
enough.
for marriage?
Me, I think we are both prepared, born prepared, determining or depending from where I grew up. Nani go akula nai. Because you know how the difference with women, for us we are so much attached. We are like assistant mothers at home, you know. So when you grew up with both your parents, I think you should be seeing how your father behaves, treats the mom, handles things. Exactly. If your father was violent, you'll also be. Because you grew up knowing that men beat women. If your father was responsible, you also grew up knowing that I have to take care of my woman, you know? Because you knew that for us, everything was done by our father. Our mother was there to nurture, take care of us, and take care of her husband. So this worldly thing, when you grow up to prepare us, but kuba konfufu. You know?
Currently,
Then, yes.
men are too busy at some point.
Onesmus, yes, ladies, when you're getting married, they give you the sessions of bridal showers, they talk to you, the singers and what. But mind you, cannot put in something new in me. Chesikuze siraba. You won't tell me that you have to kneel for your husband when I've grown up when not seeing my mother kneeling for my father. I will not wash for my husband when I've not grown seeing that. But fetulina extra sixth sense, which is not with you men.
Which one is that?
we are overseers. We know how to handle issues.
You're overthinkers, overseers.
Overseers, not thinkers. We know how to handle what? Now, for my part, when we are getting married, they give you that 1 month session of counseling with a pastor. So the time we spent dating, that is the time we spent in counseling with Pastor Sebagala.
So let me ask you a question.
So we didn't have that time, 4 weeks, no. We were with him every time, every weekend, online, knowing each other, knowing our temperaments, personalities, answering questions, like sitting for exams, So by the time our wedding was, I know Bunafu Buno, I'll manage. Let me forgive him for that.
So let me ask you a question. Had you found out in that period of counseling that people were incompatible, were you going to cancel the marriage?
Depends on the foundation and what, because something can be minor, something bearable.
And realize that maybe if you realize that there's something that you cannot compromise on, do you have had the courage of cancelling the marriage?
For example, let me give you. For me, when I found out that my husband is a tough person,
Shouts us to him.
but I said I loved him. But regardless of that bit, there are more goodness in him than that.
Okay.
So I said, now, how can I handle this?
So it's a cross you accepted to carry.
Yes. That when he's angry, I keep quiet.
Okay.
Yes.
I want us to shift the conversation a little to another leading factor for divorce.
No, but again, before you go to that, I was watching a series and there's a question. If you cannot prepare if you cannot organize your wedding, give time to your wedding, how are you going to give time for your marriage?
It's a tricky one.
We're not saying that attention should be shifted from the marriage
Wedding
altogether,
is a function.
but we are saying, can we see how we can work on both concurrently? Okay. Can we see how we can work on both concurrently? And especially financially, let's not drain and that's where the shift begins from. That financially they were drained in the marriage, in the wedding, and by the time they start the marriage, they're starting from negatives. Maybe servicing loans and things like that because they had different expectations and all that. So I want us, the other leading factor was women emancipation and women's rights. Onesimus earlier on noted that most of the uneducated, empowered girls are unmarried, and it's true. We will not deny that. In most cases, once girls, especially it's feminist, there's no problem with women emancipation, but once they get overly empowered, and issues of feminism come in, and whatever a man can do, a woman can do better.
They think we're the same level.
They think, and then they can't submit, they can't respect a man. It becomes very, very hard. That a little thing is, you take her out, a little thing turns her off, and she thinks she does not. Can we talk about that? And
Edson,
it's a reason marriages are ending.
Edson, marriage is an institution. And just like all these institutions, you go to school, you go to university,
To learn.
they have their rules.
Yes.
They have their confines and parameters. Unfortunately, the marriage institution is an institution where everyone goes into and they want to change the rules. But it has its own rules. And like it or not, we cannot change those rules. The woman must
Submit.
submit. The man must provide.
And lead.
If you want to change those rules, unless both of you have agreed that, okay, as a woman, I'm going to do this, as a man, I'm going to do this, if it will be okay. But if it is unagreed on, and you just want to play by your own rules, then the marriage will fail definitely. Because as a man, men have their ego, and it ought to be massaged and respected. Then women are love beings to which they should be provided, and if you're not providing, they will cease to respect you.
And loved.
Her submission will be withdrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I believe that we should get back to the rules of marriage.
But we've seen these signs when you are dating these women and men before even getting married.
Sometimes you think that things will change.
It's not like that. You cannot change someone you've
Some
not
things
grown
do change
with.
in the long run. Some do change. And that I agree. But in this generation, women emancipation has, I will not say has done us more harm than good, bro. People that are, when you look at those alpha women more so out there, alpha women don't normally make good marriages.
But how can you expect someone you date on church food to provide?
In church food.
You find yourself dating in camp meetings, church food, evening, those
I'll
youth
speak on the-
corners.
I'll speak on
And
the
you
of many
expect
youths today. Mrs. Mayanja,
that man to
Mrs.
provide.
Mayanja, of late, Adventist men have shifted from that kind of lifestyle. And I want to
take people
speak
out.
this with confidence. Adventist men and youth today.
You take us in
are too
gardens
romantic.
and buy some Coca-Cola and
No.
we see
Just
it,
for my
you come with
proposal.
your
You will see.
kasimuka.
You see, you shifted from
Do
that
you
kind
have a
of
little
lifestyle.
sister? And we
You show her physically.
yes.
So you guys, that women emancipation, it is from the beginning. That person shouted at you in public before even marrying her. And you expect her to respect you when you take her to your home. It cannot be. Because those are the signs we have to look at. So if I come on a date and they're like, oh, Luisiza, you know, you told me saa 12, I'm here for 2 hours, told you. That is a sign that this person will not be easy.
Know that the person is a good timekeeper.
But someone who's, no, you know women.
And I think that's a good way of ending this conversation.
No,
Are there red flags that we ignore?
yes, you
And
know
then-
that red flags. Because you know women, because we have to be submissive, the way I have to talk to you, it is not like that. You know, I say, Munangi, I've been here 2 hours.
Yes.
What have you been doing? Sorry, my love, what?
In other words, you're right to complain, but how are you
Yes,
complaining?
but how would you complain to that person? But you say, Munanga ajja kukyusa because of love. Ajja kukyusa no way. That is a red flag. Yes.
Someone is being so secretive during the courtship stage, and you're like, maybe they will change. They don't want to let you know so much about them. There's critical information they are withholding. Talking about the red flags now. Critical information they are keeping away from you, but you still ignore it. Could that be a precursor to a broken marriage?
You see, everything. Actually, a marriage dies before it even starts. Most of those things are things that maybe you people didn't know about each other. So that's why, for me, personally, I believe in talk about everything. Talk about everything, know each other well, so that in case you get there and the person is doing otherwise, you tell them, but you told me this.
At least you know it was addressed.
But also,
Yes.
speaking about talking about everything, this is one thing I just agree. It takes only 5 minutes to know the life story of a woman, and 20 years to know the life story of a man. Men keep things at heart. That's why a woman will sit on a border and just everything to a border man. A man it will be a football and the rest. And
Yes, but you see, Onesimus, if it's the woman that you intend to spend your life with, why are you hiding anything?
I know you
Tell
learn,
them.
you
And-
learn along the way some few things. every now and then you're learning
I mean,
something
both of you
new.
are supposed, but there are some basics you need to know
Yes.
prior.
Those basics ones you know.
Now, never date an FBI like me.
Even if you're an FBI, let me tell you this.
Because before
Men
even
are
saying
too
yes to
secretive.
you, okay, I will not know exactly over all of the stuff. But at least even before saying yes to you, I'll know your friends.
But the thing you're supposed to reveal, I mean, on it, I think
They're the
but
basics.
Onesimus, there are those things you're supposed to reveal on
The
it.
simple ones, yes, that I agree.
Like major things you stand for, like, you know?
The values you uphold so
Yes,
strongly.
That is very fine.
Now, what are secrets do you think you cannot reveal out?
Maybe you anticipate to do very dark
perhaps,
things.
let me say, there are things I've done in the past.
No,
and if
that's
I've
not-
told you in courtship,
Past in past is
I
past.
know,
Like,
you won't even say
we
no.
can't live
But
in
also
past.
somehow,
You-
Onesimus, there are things from the past that perhaps, maybe you have a child from the past. Why not reveal that? That's a big issue.
A child is something big. But
I mean, like, I'm going to tell her after we've been married. I think that's...
What if in the same church you had
Actually,
a
it's a
serious
ground for divorce.
relationship there? Tell me that
a ground for
Kagal,
divorce.
that Munange, we separated. If you hear rumors from people that we are dating, it was this and this and this
we may
period.
not really point out everything about what should be said and what should not. But I think there is need for wisdom and discernment. Asking God to reveal to you with what should be said and what should not be said. So that by the end of the day, you don't walk into having withheld some very important information.
Yeah, then also I look at it in these phases. There's the talking stage. Then there will be the dating phase. Then there will be courtship. Now we mistake dating and courtship. Because you will not reveal everything at the dating stage.
Yes.
But at courtship, where you like you know what, we're moving into marriage now, and this is the person you intend.
Dating is courtship is exclusive, right?
Yes.
But dating, I can still ask someone else out, right?
date as many as you can.
But there are things
Yes.
you are going to discover from marriage.
Yes, there are also
That's what I was saying. That's
also
what you learn in marriage.
No, at even they are not secrets. You know, for me, I said when I grew up, saga mtwa fruta. So
Are you saying
no, I'm giving you an example.
in quotes?
No, I'm giving you an example. Like when you're still courtshiping, I cannot know if you're
How do
snoring
you
or
ask,
not.
how do you know?
So after getting married, that's when we will sleep together and say, good, fruta.
Other things you can bear with. Anyone can
Then
snow,
you
by
can
the way.
bear with that
Yes,
because you know what? Married and say now we have to get solutions for
Yes.
that. So there are those things you will discover from
Yes.
courtship, dating,
Yeah.
and after getting
That's what
Maybe have a list, just like you told us. Have a list of things you can compromise on and things that you cannot compromise on.
and you be like this one. Sina jenkutwala.
Let's have a part two of this conversation. I think because of time, thank you, gentlemen and lady, for your time. It's been a very interesting conversation. I think I personally had a few things to learn that perhaps are going to help me in.
In how many years?
But most importantly, talk
Women
about
are good
everything,
people.
right?
Talk about
Very
everything.
good.
Yes, I think
Yes.
about
At courtship.
Yes, talk about everything
Before you enter the
You
marriage.
guys, I tell you, make women your friends. Women are good people.
But also men are extremely good.
Thank you so much, our beloved viewer. Tell us what you think about the topic. You can share your feedback with us across the different social media platforms of Hope Channel Uganda. And like, subscribe, and share the YouTube channel. From myself and the rest of the team here at Hope Channel Uganda, it's been a pleasure having you on the conversation. See you next time.